Mr. Mgobhozi, thank you very much for your time here on ENCA. Tell us a little bit more about your platform and how exactly it will assist in terms of women and people living with disabilities being left out in the job market.
Good morning, Maseko, and good morning to the viewers of ENCA. Thank you so much for having me. So I'd like to basically speak about the hashtag Modern Centric 1 million, which is part of the campaign that we are currently running as a company, where we are looking at the marginalized communities, that is persons with disability, the youth, and also women. But how we are actually revitalizing these people is through various programs, such as training them for the digital age that we are approaching as a company, as the world. And we're also looking at recruiting them on various skills such as admin work and also ICT employments.
And now, when exactly does this start? Do they are they already have you already placed people rather at companies?
That's correct. So currently we are working with various companies within the financial sector, also the ICT sector, and also telecommunications as well. We have placed various persons with disability and also women as well, vulnerable women though.
And exactly how do people get a hold of you? How do they get you to assist them in getting jobs? And what kind of jobs do you help people, especially people living with disabilities? Do you, for instance, also, get into the process of finding out if the building that they're going to be employed at is sufficient enough for them to be able to move around, etc.?
I'm so glad that you've mentioned that, Maseko, because as a company, before we do recruitment for organization, we actually have a model that we use, which is called the PEST model. What basically means is that we go to companies and then we actually do an access audit, a universal access audit within buildings to verify if the client is actually prepared to do recruitment or not. If the client is actually not prepared to do recruitment, we then help them to tell them exactly what disabilities they can accommodate and what they cannot accommodate as well. So these are the things that, we do when we partner with organizations, because we want to make sure that, when we hand over a person with disability to an organization, everything is sorted accordingly. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Do you also do follow-ups, Zakhele? For instance, do people get a chance to still speak to the recruitment agency to, to catch up with them on whether they're still coping, are they still okay?
Going back to the model that I told you earlier, when we do our recruitment, we actually make sure that, we hold the candidate and the client for a period of 3 months before we actually let go and say, now the person is ready, purely for one reason. If you look at persons with disability, and especially when you recruit them, and now go back to our culture as African people, when you recruit a person with disability, it's also deemed like, you don't know what you're doing sometimes, because we have to look at our background as Africans. If you have a child with disability, what do we do in our black communities? We tend to hide you in the background. We tend to not to show you. Then how do you expect this person to actually maneuver around the workplace when you place them? These are the things that we actually engage with as the company Modern Centric, to actually help the candidate and also help the client hold their hands and move over to the last inception of 3 months to make sure that, we have done a proper transition of making sure that this person is well taken care of within the corporate.
All right, thank you very much for that. Modern Centric's Zakhele Mgobhozi speaking to us there.